why I'm coming to you live today from Michigan, people. And I want to tell my story how these criminals got into the hotel that I was staying in. I recorded my daughter's vagina and her buttocks have been tampered with. My son's butt has been tampered with. The only ones that were in the room was me and my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old daughter. And I sure would not attempt to abuse my children. What they did, they're putting me in rigged up rooms. I'm in Michigan, and they did this at the... What hotel is that? They did this at the expensive $109 hotel that I paid for, which is the Hampton Inn and Suites in Michigan, people. What they did is they're putting me in rooms everywhere across the states. I'm in 22 states already. My ex is a DA informant named Ramon Domingo Diaz, a.k.a. Ray Diaz is his alias. Asked me to put 7 tattoos, had 2 children with me in the attempt to traffic my children. So since I've had my kids, these criminals are in back of me. They legally kidnapped my kids. He got granted $500,000 in a fraudulent scheme that he did in Laredo, Texas. He jammed 5 people in his truck, got full coverage. And I know it was fraudulent because he told me, and he asked me to do it the whole 5 years I was with him, and I never participated in that illegal activity. I was afraid for somebody to get hurt, and I told him I'm not ready to do any federal time. He's been in and out of prison. He should be in prison for life. And these people, the DA let him out as a DA informant. There's 18,000 of them. What they do is they gang up on you. If you got child support money coming in, you got a house coming in, you're inheriting something, and one of them, you mess with one of them, they all gang up on you. They got you on some kind of phone. They got us on a phone list. They chipped my daughter, I believe, either at birth, or they chipped my daughter in the K-Star Kerrville foster care system. What they did was when he was getting the first lump sum that he requested I come back with him, I denied his request and I turned down his money that he offered me. Then there was pedophiles following me. All kinds of pedophiles following me, people. And then the next thing I know, they gang stalked my 17-year-old, legally kidnapped my children, and child trafficked them through the K-Star foster care system in San Antonio, Texas. Took my children from a Christian loving home that I love them, and blossoming my daughter beautifully. My son was happy. We were all they took him away from me, handcuffed me, big old black vans pulled up and legally kidnapped them. Got one by one and ran to the big black government trucks and took them while they put me in handcuffs. Just because I stated I didn't want my 17-and-a-half-year-old, which was 6 months away from being legal adult, with me anymore because he was cussing at me, and I didn't know they were gang stalking him at the time. I didn't know that they were abusing him, and that I didn't know it was a setup for me because he got this large amount of money granted by the Allstate Insurance Agency that he frauded. He had a big rig hit him. He came up on $500,000, but this is where he gave my kids to an occult. He put a Santissima on my back with the baby inside it. He put it in a tattoo behind my back. Told me that it was going to say Ray loves Edna or Edna loves Ray with a little heart in the middle. Come to find out, a few months back, we're taking pictures of my back, my 7-year-old daughter. I got a Santissima in the heart covering over a baby that I would have never in a million years agreed to. So this dude put me in some kind of a cult, and these criminals are in back of me. I got pedophilia light in back of me, CPS child traffickers in back of me, DA informants in back of me, DA agents in back of me. They're trafficking me and my children in every hotel, everywhere I go, everywhere I turn, everybody's involved. I go in a store and they're pointing at me. The registers are treating me bad. I go to the Burger King, they're in front and in back of me, pointing at my vehicle, pointing at me. They'll pull up walking. They'll get off their the trailers that they're driving, the truckers, get in front of me, walking to order in front of me and point at me, and then the dude's treating me bad, and I get all this cold meat and cold food. This is how they're doing it. This is the $36 billion national trafficking ring, and I'm stating my story today. They got in my room in the Hampton Suites in room 327. They tampered with my daughter and my son. I believe in some of these hotels, they have underground. They set me up in rooms that the floorboards smell like chemical gases. Under the sinks, you can see the board is a different color from all the other boards, and it looks like it just moves off where they can conveniently get in. My kids have told me they've got in through under the sink. They got in through this passage, and they can see a little bit. They knock us incoherent, but my kids can see a little bit and hear a little bit. They knock me out. I don't know what's going on. You just feel tampered with. And when I check my kids' privates, I can tell they've been tampered with. I've tried going to the hospital, people. And these criminals are gang stalking me in the hospital, calling cops on me, calling CPS traffickers on me to come legally kidnap my kids. They've tried to release me from the hospitals without signing a document for my daughter, because they're mainly in back of my daughter. She's the firstborn that I had from this criminal, and she's the one that I believe that he dedicated to an occult, or dedicated to this criminal enterprise of trafficking. I've had them in back of me since I denied his request at 2.5 years old. She's 7 now. They have been in back of me, following me, legally kidnapped my kids, kept her child support money, their child support money that was deserved to them from that truck big rig. My kids were supposed to get some child support, but what they did, they legally gang stalked my 17-year-old, legally kidnapped my kids, then child traffic them through foster care. In Kerrville, Texas. They stole my kids from San Antonio and took them to Kerrville to be trafficked. What my daughter states is that all of them were traffickers, and they're all the ones running it. Were all men, and they were all making the little kids dance and assaulting the little kids in the nights, including my son was 3 years old back then. And they don't stop. I recently got some money. The judge, I went above and beyond one of my kids. They try to put me with a mental illness that said I was psychotic, that I could abuse or hurt my kids. I have not one mental health case. I've raised 2 children from my first marriage, 2 sons, they're grown now. Not one assault do I have on them, not abuse that I have on them. Never did I hurt them. I never abused them. I have not one mental health case. I have not one violence in my criminal history. So it's the biggest trick in the book, and they're doing it across America. What they're doing is they all followed me, gang stalked me. When I reported it, they used it against me when they legally kidnapped them. That I took her to the hospital to get checked, that I was mentally ill, that I caught the cops and made 2 reports. So it's the biggest trick in the book. Follow her, gang stalk her, make her look mentally ill. Let's kidnap her children. Let's keep the funds that are coming in. Anything that you have coming in, and you deal with one of these DA informants, or you sleep with one of these DA informants, there's 18,000 of them, and they're in the millions, man. They're in the high numbers where they're getting money. Properties, if you have property coming in, child support, they will gang stalk you, make you look like you're crazy, say you're crazy. They slapped Kathleen Collins in San Antonio, Texas, slapped some bogus stuff that even when I went to the, when they put my paperwork to the counselor, she knew that it was all bogus. They knew. Mental health worker defended me. This lady does not have what y'all are stating she has, and I do not agree with the diagnosis, and that is not what she has. Went up there in the stand, got cross-examined. Pedophilia like psychiatrist, white male, very smart, slapped me with a psychosis with the intent to legally kidnap my kids and keep me probably in an insane asylum to continue to traffic my children and keep their child support. Went up there and recanted his statement and said, give her her children back. It looked like that at the time. In other words, I made a mistake, give her her children back. A whole year chopping big old pieces of my hair off, leaving me bald spots. They were drugging up my vehicle, trying to make me fail CPS drug tests, chopping big old pieces, long strands of my hair off, leaving me bald on the bottom when I would go get haircuts. The ladies would tell me, ma'am, you have bald spots. And they were drugging anybody, I don't care what race, color, creed you are going to